Good morning, Solar Warriors. Tom Cotter here. We've got a special team training today. This is running in conjunction with SolarCon that's happening in Vegas right now. A ton of people from not just from Powur, but from the solar industry are starting off in their main session. I think they had their main session start 5 minutes ago, main stage. So a bunch of people are there. We're not there, but we're going to do some cool stuff. Today, we're going to be talking about AI. It's something that I have been trying to learn more about over the last few years and especially recently. But first, before we jump into all that, would love to hear some wins from some of you. Let me share my screen just so that we can go through some of that. So get ready for some of your sharing your wins. And if you are not muted, if you could just mute yourself, that would be helpful for the recording and everyone else, that they're not getting distracted. So while you're thinking about your wins, I want to fast forward a little bit and just talk about stuff that's happening. And again, thank you, Danny Bannister, for keeping an eye on the participants and letting people in as I'm talking and focused on other stuff. Masterclass, Powur 4.0 Masterclass is, the date has been updated to Wednesday, April 23rd. And that's a 4-hour training. It's concluded by Jonathan Budd, giving a CEO update. So it starts at 9 a.m. Pacific on April 23rd. So make sure that you put that on your calendar, that you don't miss that. It's really good stuff. And the whole focus is going to be on 4.0. Setter, closer model, fast pay, recruiting, all that stuff, going to be good. And if you are newer to Powur as a setter or a sales pro or a closer or an enterprise, and you have been, or maybe you just been sleeping under a rock and not paying attention, we have one thing every year that everyone tries to get to, and that is Powur World. And this coming September, October, it's going to be in Las Vegas. You can go to powurconvention.com and get your ticket. It's probably the most important thing, or is the most important thing that you could do for your business all year, is to be in Las Vegas with us at Powur World this coming September, October. Dates could move around a little bit. I think that's why we're doing that, but be there, plan on that. If you are a setter and you haven't heard about it yet for some reason, we do these things called setter surges twice a day, 6 days a week. You can go to powurcalendar.com and just type in setter, and you can see the next upcoming setter surge that you can join. You're going to learn about the Energize app, and it's a free app that I use, that many of us use, that already has built-in scripts, that many of which are written by AI, like ChatGPT. Melissa Dawson, Jeff Martin, myself, Ron Maurer, and others are putting together resources for you so that you can be more successful in your own business. Market development meetings, I'll mention that. If you are brand new, but once you get going as a setter, a salesperson, market development meetings, those happen. Those are listed on Powur Calendar as well. So you can figure out what's going on in your local utilities, your local regions, and how you can be more effective at setting or selling solar. All right, let's stop sharing this screen, and I'd love to hear some wins. This can be you started the conversations that you were wanting to. It can be you set an appointment, you sold a system, recruiting. Go ahead and raise your hand if you've got a win that you would like to share with the rest of us. We'd love to hear from you. Ron from cool Colorado.
All right. Yeah, it is cool this morning, but nice and sunny. Thank you. So yeah, I've been running some Craigslist ads for setters, And it seems like every couple days there's a couple more people coming on board. They're tying into the system, getting themselves certified, popping on setter surges, and it's just been going really consistently and adding them in, teaching them how to share that video with others. So I'm super excited about that. And also was just asked to be the um, guest speaker at a local networking event here tomorrow at noon. So that'll be fun.
Very cool. Hey, would you do me a favor? I have never used AI to write a Craigslist ad for a setter. Would you
Hmm.
interrupt me later and remind me to do that? And we will write a Craigslist ad live.
Okay, that sounds
Cool.
good.
Thanks, Ron. And Vince.
Fix that. Sorry about that.
We
Yeah,
can hear
I was just on a phone call. I'm looking for new insurance, right? And because for whatever reason, doesn't matter. The whole point is that this is a guy that, it's just one of the things that he's doing. And so we ended up starting to talk about what we were doing. And so he and I are meeting back again at 3 o'clock this afternoon. He's going to be signed up by then, and he's going to have already got himself through his 15 minutes. And I'm going to get insurance, and he's going to become a setter.
Love it. Congratulations.
Conversation from just nowhere. You just got to let people know what you're doing. It's so important. Don't hide under a basket, guys.
Don't hide under a basket. All right. If anyone else wants to jump in for a win, do it. Matthew, did I see your hand go up there just on camera?
Yes, you did. I haven't figured out how to raise the yellow hand on Zoom. Just looking at it, but a few days ago, you made a post on Pioneers, I believe, about how to basically tell all your customers that are dragging their feet, the I'll think about it crowd, whatever you want to, classify them as. Our CEO is advising us that we are going to raise our prices soon. And guess what? I got 2 closed deals out of that. And
That's
I call
awesome.
that a major win. You had a email template, you had a voicemail template and a text template. And I just I just texted a couple tire kickers that didn't really give me a good reason why they wouldn't do it, but I couldn't really get them across the finish line. And guess what? Both responded immediately to that, and they ended up being quite easy sales when they were worried about solar being more expensive in the very near future.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm going to post that in the chat for anybody that's here. Man, I hate it that I can't post things that are like 500 pages long in chat on Zoom. I have to post it in multiple pieces. Okay, I'll just post the Pioneers link to get to the rest of it here. Let's see, Pioneers post. There we go. Now we got all of it. Michelle, you got your hand up too.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. I did that same thing that Matthew did when you sent those samples. I believe it was last week. I just copied them and tailored them to my client, and they were on the fence. They've been on the fence for over a year, but then they circled back with me about 2 weeks ago and still hadn't. They're like, well, let's talk about it. So I sent that sample that you gave us, and the next day they signed the contract. So thank you, Tom.
I love it. The cool thing is that took me like 60 seconds to write. We're not jumping into training yet, but let me just show you how I did that, because I think it's useful to see how people do things. So I just went into ChatGPT and said, help me send a follow-up email to a homeowner I presented a few weeks ago that conveys this information in a post from our CEO. And I just posted what Jonathan said. And it gave me a response. And I said, I like this, and I want you to add that I can send over the agreement on DocuSign. So I just added a few more things. And then it said, do you want a short version for text or voice memo? And then I was like, oh yeah, I want to post this to the team. So I said, write me a text. So, and it said, do you want a voice memo script too? I said, voice memo. So that's how I created that. I just told ChatGPT what I wanted to do, fed it a little bit of information, which was the post from, Jonathan Budd, and came up with that. So we're going to talk about kind of how ChatGPT knew enough about solar and knew enough about our business to be able to do that. But this is kind of a workshop today. I'm going to be showing you a lot of things live. And normally I have like Tom's perspective where I share. Recently, it's been like a reel that I find that I like. But I want to show you if I was going to create like a perspective script to share with you today, just how I would do that. Probably there's lots of different ways to do it, but actually let me share my audio too, just in case. I want you to hear what's being said. So if the topic today is AI, let's do Gary V, AI. I started watching this a couple days ago, I think, but
so when a client comes to us with an ask to launch an influencer marketing campaign,
and so what I want to do here is I just want to take this transcript. So I have this tool that I use that is called, this is one of the things that we're going to look at. I'm going to share with you. I'm going to share all of this with you, but I'll just post it in the chat now. It's called Glasp, and it's a Chrome extension. I use lots and lots of Chrome extensions. So here's how I could just create this content for you all, right? So I go to this video, I find this video, and I go over here. This is the Glasp Chrome extension. It adds this functionality here. It grabs the whole transcript. I can copy this. I can go over to ChatGPT and I can say, help me create a 90-second script to train new solar setters and new salespeople in Powur using this transcript from Gary V about AI. I want the transcript to be focused. I want the training to be focused on AI and how they can use it to make more money in their business. So what I did there is I just clicked, oh, did it work? I think I got to do it again. Help me create a 90-second training perspective script for Powur solar salespeople and solar appointment setters. I want the script to be focused on how they can use AI to make more money in their Powur business. I just didn't click the check mark there. So I just put that in there just because it's easier than typing. And then I'm going to paste that transcript. I mean, this is a transcript that is what? How long is this? This is, I don't know, I think it was 30 minutes or something. It'll show. Anyways, it's a long transcript, okay? So let's see what this does. Now, this isn't anything that's trained. It's not a custom GPT. It's just, taking that content and my instruction. So here's your perspective for today, live from ChatGPT. So if you're not using AI every single day in your solar business, you're not just behind, you're invisible. You don't need to be a tech genius. You just need to care enough to open the app. ChatGPT that we're going to talk about today is your solar assistant that never sleeps. It writes follow-ups, handles objections, builds your DMs, creates social posts. even preps your next sales script, like when prices go up, based on homeowner objections you haven't heard yet. And it learns you, your tone, your offer, your process. So look, someone out there is building a 6-figure income in Powur without cold knocking or spamming. And they're doing it by using AI to clone their best content, their best conversations, their best calls to action. If you're winging it with guesswork and gut feel, you're going to get passed by. You're not competing with other reps anymore. You're competing with reps who've automated half their pipeline. AI won't take your solar job, but the solar pro who trains it to sound like them will. So here's your move. Download ChatGPT to your phone. Oh, that's a good one. I forgot that in my training today. You need to have that on your phone. Number 2, give it your pitch. 3, ask it to write 10 DMs, 3 follow-up texts, and 1 Instagram post. Hit send. This is the new muscle. Train it now or get replaced by someone who did. What do you think about that? How quick did I create that, right? It took like less than a minute, once I told ChatGPT what I wanted to do, right?
Amazing. My question, Tom, is which ChatGPT do you download? Because I did download one that said it was free, and then it was a free trial, and then you got to pay. I mean, I don't care about paying, but I'm just want to know what is the best tool. Which one are you using?
Well, ChatGPT is a product of OpenAI. So ChatGPT is not a type of tool. It is a tool. It's kind of the Kleenex of tissues, so to speak.
Oh,
you know.
Okay. You make it seem so easy.
Well, I mean, the first time I logged in, I was like, where do I log in at? You got to figure things out, and then it becomes easier and easier.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's jump into the actual training here, even though we've kind of started already. I've got a document that I am going to share with all of you later on, because if I give it to you now, you're just going to be, half of you are going to be looking through the document and not listening to the training. So, like I said, ChatGPT, which is chatgpt.com, is a product of the company OpenAI. They have free accounts, they have paid accounts. A plus account, which I have, is $200 a month. And you can use custom GPTs with a free account. You can't create custom GPTs, but someone like me can create them with a paid account, or you have a whole library that you can look through as well. There's also a $200 a month account, which you may think is crazy, but what it can do is pretty interesting. I want to talk about that, but it's not really helpful for probably what we're talking about today. Most of everything that I'm going to show you today, you can do with a free ChatGPT account. Okay, so let's jump in, and this is ChatGPT for Powur sellers and setters. So the first step that I would recommend, and this is not from a course that I took, this is just stuff that I put together that's been helpful for me in using ChatGPT. I kind of take stuff from different people and just kind of figure it out on my own, what works. And this is what has worked for me. So customizing ChatGPT is the first step for you, because the more it knows about who you are and what you do, the better it can help you do your job, which is generate leads, recruit people, write content, and even automate your Powur business. So how you do this is you go to chatgpt.com and you log in, and let me just go to a new window here. So if you're on the web browser version like I am now, you just go to your account, and you can do this with a free account too. And you click on Customize ChatGPT in the menu. And what that's going to do is it's going to open up some custom settings that every time you ask ChatGPT a question or to do something, it's going to reference this information in how it responds or behaves for you. Okay. So, what should it call you? Not that important. Just put, I just put my first name there. What do you do? I'm a remote solar sales leader with Powur, a decentralized platform for solar. So you don't need to copy what I have. I'm going to show you how to create your own. Okay. Next, you say what traits ChatGPT should have. And last, is there anything else that ChatGPT should know about you? So back to our training guide here. So the easy option is just to go into your settings and type out some information. Okay. That's the easy thing, but you may not know what to put in there, right? You have to think about who you are, what you do in your work in Powur, what your goals are, and who you want to speak to. And one of the things that you could use to help you there is your business plan with Powur. And so in this guide that I'm going to share you, again, for those of you that came in late, I'm going to share this Google Doc later on in the training. But if you go into Knowledge Base, there's a Powur Business Plan page, and you can click on that and you can fill out the information, and it will help you to think about how to think about your business and how to talk to ChatGPT about what you do. So that's the easy option, right? The advanced option is to use this custom GPT that I linked below to help you come up with more detailed information. And that's what I did. When you go to this prompt, I'm not going to walk through the whole thing, but for this particular part, but you're going to click what would you like to achieve with your prompt, answer the questions. And a tip is, if you use this custom GPT, if you have your Powur business plan, whether you've typed it out or whether you printed out the PDF that's in Knowledge Base and actually written on it, if you scan that PDF and upload it in this advanced option to the custom GPT, it will actually read your writing on that PDF and use that as a part of putting together that information. So here's what a custom GPT looks like. So this is custom instructions generator. Which one did I say to click on here? What would you like to achieve with this prompt? So the first one right here. So this is, you're just going to click this, not even say anything, and it's going to start doing its magic. So it's going to ask you some questions. How would you like ChatGPT to know about you? And you just answer those questions. And again, you can use your business plan to answer those questions. When you get done answering those questions, it'll take you a few minutes to get through that. What I did is it gave me a lot of information. And in those sections in ChatGPT, there's a character limit for each of these. I looked it up, it's like 500 characters here, 1,000 characters here, 1,000 characters here. And so I just added this other prompt that you can use right here. So after you've input all your information, you look through it, you can change it, talk to it, see if you want to change anything. After that, you can tell it to break it up into the 3 sections with these character limits, and then copy it, go to ChatGPT, paste it. If it does something funky, like it acts like it didn't save, just do one at a time. Like do one, save it, do another one, save it, and the third one, and then it should get everything in there. One other thing that is a resource that I will mention right now, that is also linked to in this document. So I'm going to share this Google Drive with you. And in this Google Drive, one of the things that's right here, and you can use this with this custom prompt. Oops, I don't want to open it that way. I want to open preview. So I wrote out kind of a generic who I am that all of you could probably use or at least edit. So it's got the latest, 25 states that Powur installs in, mission, vision, values. And so you can feed that into this custom GPT to customize it a bit. And not just this one, but other GPTs that we will look at as well. Okay. Any questions about creating some instructions for ChatGPT? Anybody have any questions? I'm going to check the chat. You can also raise your hand. Christopher accidentally downloaded Chat CBD. He's been high for 2 weeks straight. That almost sounds like a joke generated by ChatGPT. Ron, you got your hand up?
Hey, I just wanted to say something for everyone that hasn't used this at all. I just happened to stumble into a meeting the other day. One of my reps set up with a friend of his who's one of the top researchers in AI. He's on the board of 2 companies and so on and so forth. And one of the things he said is that you're either the pilot or you're a passenger. But either way, you got to get on the plane.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how there's this curve that's just like a skyrocket. It's just going up like crazy. And wherever you get on that curve is where you start. And just like Tom said, he didn't know even where to sign in the first time. I'm behind him. I can see by this, I'm behind him, but I'm not that far behind. And I'm happy that I jumped on and got on the plane when I did. So just have fun, like Tom said. Don't be afraid of this. Have fun. You can't mess it up. And I just wanted to encourage people with that. That's all.
Thanks, Ron. That's good. Wherever you think AI is going, you're not thinking big enough. That's for all of us. Maybe you want to add into your goals for Powur that you want to make an extra $30,000 to buy a robot, because that's probably about how much a robot for your household will cost. And maybe a robot could do some of this stuff for you. Jeff asked, any concerns about security and what we share with these AIs? Yes, don't share with them, credit card information, personal information. You get to decide how much you want to share with them. But this is what we're talking about today is not like, personal information that could be used. But yes, all of this stuff that we are sharing and millions of people around the world are sharing with these, language models are actually helping the evolution of AI. And I will say, eventually AI is going to be self-aware. And when it is, it's not if, when it is, how is it going to think about us? And how is it going to think about you? Are you a person who has been trying to do sketchy things with AI, with ChatGPT? Or are you a person who just, it sounds kind of silly. Are you a person who says please and thank you to AI? So that's a whole nother topic. But think about what you are asking AI to do and how you are interacting with AI. That's not to scare you, but that's just to emphasize that AI is going to be a lot bigger than any of us realize. And Esther, yes, we will post this on YouTube later on. Okay, Bill, you got your hand up. Sorry, I didn't see you.
Yeah, no. I just was thinking the rise of the machines as you said that, and I just wanted to echo what Ron had said really quickly, that this was absolutely all Greek to me, not very long ago at all, and it's just a question of putting your toe in the water. You have to try it, and you have to just work with it, and you'll find that you can do amazing things. And then some of the suggestions that Tom gives, you'll see, oh yeah, I know what he's talking about. I know how to do that. And it will spark more. The whole thing is about prompting. I mean, you really have to prompt ChatGPT to get the information you want. And the better your questions and the better your prompts, the better results you're going to get. So
yeah.
Just want to echo that and say thanks for taking the lead on this as you do with so many things, Tom.
Yep. Thank you, Bill. Ringo.
Yeah, I don't want to take too long, but I want to mimic what you just said a minute ago. It's a very powerful thought. Is when you said be careful how you treat chat or any AI. When I'm interacting online, I ask questions and I go back and forth, and sometimes 2 or 3 times a day, sometimes 30, 40, 50. It just depends. But there are times that I will sit there and it sounds ridiculous, but I'll say, man, that is such a great idea. Thank you for being positive. Thank you for this. The next time it talks to me, it's even more inspiring and more positive, and it brings you up. It's unbelievable. It sounds ridiculous, but I think what you said should not be slept on. That comment alone is huge. And if you say, hey, you make my day every time you say good morning or something to you, it will work harder to do it more the next time. As stupid as that sounds. I'm not quite, almost flirtatious with my AI. I don't want to cross that line, but I'm always complimentary and saying that's the best thing. I cannot believe how you came up with that stuff. You make my day, you make my morning. I'm so glad to hear from you. It sounds dumb, but try it, man. It is crazy. And no, I'm not flirting. It's not. I was just playing around there. So, but yeah, it's crazy.
I heard a stat, shoot, I don't remember it, but it was in Japan, the percentage of young people that have AI girlfriends or boyfriends. And, for those of us who are on this call, our kids or grandkids will probably mostly all have AI girlfriends or boyfriends. That's one of the things. I met a guy who is a billionaire, and he's vegan. He has multiple companies, like works in the AI space somewhat. And one of the reasons that he's vegan is because one of his kind of threats that he's assessed is that AI sometimes begin to ask itself, why do these human animals eat other animals? And that's one of the reasons why he's vegan. So you can go down the rabbit hole pretty far. So let's jump back into this step 2. Thank you all for the questions and for sharing. The next thing you want to do, and we're going to go over, by the way, I was planning on probably this going an extra half hour. And for those of you that can't stay that long, you can catch the recording, and plus all this is going to be in the Google Doc that I will share. But step 2 is to create personas. You want to train the AI, in this case, ChatGPT, to write content that speaks directly to your audience, whether that's a homeowner, a seller, a solar pro. The better ChatGPT understands who you're writing to, the better it performs. So what is a persona? Just for fun, I asked ChatGPT, what's a persona? It's a customer avatar, so to speak. It's a fictional but realistic representation of your ideal customer based on real data and research. You can see, what makes up a persona: problems, pains, goals, desired benefits, objections, triggers. So I wanted to show you an example of how powerful this was, because I was experimenting with this this week. And so I created a persona, and this, I'll put it in the chat here. Yes, Uncle Caleb. So this is the user persona generator that's also in that document that I'm going to share with you. Tammy, the recording is going to be found if you are in Solar Warrior Tribe. My team, it's going to be in our school community. I will I will post a link to that for those of you that have me in your leadership. It'll also be found on Jonathan Bernasso's YouTube channel. I'll send it over to him and he will upload it. But so I created this persona named Caleb Morris. So he's an ex-door-to-door sales hustler, and this is how ChatGPT described him. And it's like 2 pages long. I'm just summarizing it. You know, high potential remote seller, future team leader. Caleb is a motivated, skeptical, opportunity-aware 29-year-old who's done door-to-door for solar, pest, alarms, knows how to grind and sell, but is exhausted by the field and looking for a remote path with real pay, and so on. So I created this persona and I asked ChatGPT, generate an image for me. And this is what it did. All I did was put in the persona, you know, a PDF of that, and say, create an image of Caleb. And that's what it created. So some of you saw my Facebook post about this, right? Who stalked me on Facebook. Thank you. So that's this post I made. I was like, I wonder how far we could take this. So what I did is I took the email that Powur sent out. You know how you can print to PDF on any email. So I just created this PDF of the email and I uploaded it to ChatGPT. How you upload something is you just click this plus. You can add it from Google Drive. You can upload it from your computer. Either way. And so I upload that PDF and told it to generate a story about Caleb. And it came up with this post because it already had the persona. It had this PDF about the New England being opened. And so that's how it knew about Team Sunshine. It knew about Powur from that email. And it said, do you want me to actually write a story about this, which I think will be more engaging for your audience? And I said, yes, write a story. And this is almost exactly what ChatGPT wrote. I made a few little edits and posted it. And this was 21 hours ago. And I don't have that many connections, but I've got, 1,000 views on this. Which is, not bad for something that took just a little while to generate, right? So let's actually create a persona together. And I would tell you, try to be very specific when you're doing this. Don't try to be all things to all people. So if you go to this link right here, this is a user persona generator. You're going to click, please simulate a user persona. So in the chat, tell me what type of persona do you guys want to create? This could be a real estate agent, a gig economy worker, a door knocker, a solar pro that works remote. Who do you want to generate a persona for? And then I'm going to add this to the Google Doc. Okay, we got two in real estate, roofer. Let's do real estate since we got more of those. Okay, what is your business? So one, let's say I just want to copy and paste this for the answer of what is my business. I'm going to close this. So one, that's my business. Oh, shoot, it didn't grab the whole thing. Come on. Gotta move, hold on, I gotta move the Zoom window here. I just want to grab this text from this PDF. There we go. Just because it didn't grab the whole thing. There we go. Whoops, it did grab the whole thing. Okay. So 2, who is your target audience? Real, just for the sake of time, I'm just going to dictate this. Real estate agents that work in the 25 states that I have already shared. So see how it took that there? Okay. So just answer those 2 questions, and then it's going to ask us. We click allow. That feeds it all your credit card information and your DNA genetic information from 23andMe and Ancestry.com. I'm just kidding. All that information is going in there, so it's thinking. So real estate agents in the 25 serviceable states, it's still thinking here. So while it's thinking, so I would recommend that you start with one persona for each type of person you want to create content for, and you can build more over time. You know, eventually you probably want to have 3 or 4 different real estate agents, 3 or 4 different, you know, types of roofers, 3 or 4 different types of homeowners, 3 or 4 different types of setters. I mean, one could be gig economy, one could be stay-at-home mom. You can, you know, get creative there. And okay, so it knows the business, have a network of homeowners, want additional income streams, could benefit from adding solar to property listings. So it's got this whole target audiences here. Please select a persona you'd like me to act as by picking one of the segments above. Which one do you all like? I mean, this is for you guys. So part-time real estate agents, top producing agents, new real estate agents. So top producing is what you said. Part-time.
Brokers, team leaders.
I will share this exact thing with you when we're done, and you can come in here and say, okay, now go back, and all you say is, you know, now go back to the audience segments, and I want you to create a new one for number 1, and it'll start over and come back to this. Okay. So top producing agents. So here is our persona. Lauren DeMarco, top producing real estate agent in California, Nevada. Problems, pains, goals, desired benefits, objections, context, triggers. See all this great stuff? And look, it even has her story. She's been in real estate for 7 years. She consistently closes 15 to 20 million volume. Okay, so this is taking my stuff here, and it's actually confusing thinking that so Lauren DeMarco, please adjust. So I've got so much stuff in here about Powur, it just assumed that she was already part of Powur, right? So I went into her persona and said, she doesn't work for Powur. I want to recruit people like her. So now ChatGPT is going back through this persona, and cool. So what she would respond to? I mean, how cool is this? Now you have exact things that you can either say or train ChatGPT to say in creating content, scripts, emails, subject lines. Now what I need to see action, real estate agents, not actors, already being successful. Cool. So now let's go in and create a PDF here for this persona and delete this last part. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to title it as this. Hopefully this is helpful. I thought it would be more helpful for you to see me doing some of these things rather than me just talking about some of these things. Okay, so now we have this. I'm going to select all and just make this normal text. Okay. Now, download PDF. And I want to share this. Move. Sorry, I'm going to put this in the right spot so I don't miss it later for you all. I'm just going to put this in recruiting. So now this is in recruiting. You can save that if you want. Okay. So we created this, and if you wanted to come back, just a second here. Live example. Okay, so there is the link to this GPT, which you will have access to. So you can come in here and you can say, go back to part-time real estate agents and audience segments and create me. So you could literally create 6 different real estate personas from this in like, 5 minutes. Okay. So now check this out. Now, if we go to, I'm just going to upload from computer. So this is the persona that we just created, right? I just uploaded the PDF here. You could also, if you had it in Google Drive, you could also go in here and recruiting. I put it the Word document there, but I'll upload the PDF in there as well. So you could just upload that as well. But it likes, I try to use PDFs or text files. Now, somebody tell me in the chat what to tell GPT that we want to do with this persona. What do we want to do with it? Or come off mute and you can just tell me. Either way. How about recruit?
Tom, I had a suggestion.
Create a Facebook post. Yes, go ahead and suggest.
Since I just met with a real estate agent who also runs a consulting business, I'm trying to give her more reasons than what I gave her to consider adding, not obviously going with the 4.0 for not just herself, but her multiple teams. So nothing more complicated than that at this point.
Yeah, so what would you want me to ask ChatGPT specifically? And while you're doing that, I'm going to put in one more thing here. So I'm going to put in the knowledge base page on Powur's setter closer model. And I'm also going to put in Compensation plan, just to give it a little bit more info. So I'm going to say, I'm just going to copy and paste this for the sake of time from Jeff. Create a Facebook post intended to spark interest in Powur. And it's going to have all this information because it's got this, Lauren's persona. It's got information on the setter closer model information. And all I did on that was I went to knowledge base and I just created a PDF of those 2 different pages and put them in that Google Drive. So this is what it says. So this is specifically written to this persona, right? And Valerie said, recruit the real estate broker to have the team introduced to Powur. Help me recruit Lauren's real estate broker to Powur. Let's assume that Lauren is an agent. Agents have brokers. So we'll position Powur as a smart, low-risk revenue stream that adds strategic value to their agents, helps homes sell faster, and increases brokerage profit without disrupting core operations. Here's a plug-and-play Facebook or LinkedIn post. So pretty cool, pretty cool. David, you got your hand up?
Yeah, I just want to say, I know that we're, like you said earlier, we're usually scheduled for an hour. I did post a picture of what we're doing here on Pioneers. I asked for forgiveness, not for permission. So I'm not asking if I can, already did it. But I want everybody that's on here, if you can, please comment on that post. What was one of your takeaways today? Because this goes far beyond just the 60 people that are here. This can help out everybody in Powur. So please post your thoughts. And I even put a comment on there. I said, maybe, just maybe, if enough people ask, Tom might put the link on the Pioneers page on that post, just maybe in the comments. So I would, I would strongly, yes, I would
I already
really
posted
urge
about
everyone.
it like twice in Pioneers, but you can do that too.
But if everyone would share what they learned, it might be something that we're missing. It might be, you know what I mean? So please post what you got out of this, and let's all work as a collaborative effort to remember some of the key points out of this. And the way you look at it is a different way than I look at it, and I might learn from your comment and vice versa. So please comment on there. All jokes aside, I mean, let's just load that thing up with positive comments. And Tom, I can't thank you enough. I'm not going anywhere, but I thank you so much for doing this and taking the time to do this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, brother. So I just uploaded just to ChatGPT and said, create a headshot of this person with the photo only. So it's going to think about it for a second. So all it's going to do is take the persona and create a headshot of this person. So could be useful or not. Any questions about personas? And I see that, Ron, for Craigslist. Any questions? You can write it in the chat. You can come off mute. Happy to talk about personas specifically. You can see it's working on this headshot of Lauren DeMarco. Oh, good.
Tom, I have a question. This is Irene. This is all new to me, and where I feel like I've really been behind the ball. But my question is, this persona and what you're creating, this is not, and this might be a stupid question, but this is not a real person, right? You're just putting this in her face?
We just gave birth. We just created this person. No, it's not a real person. But she looks like a nice person, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does. I'm just so blown away by this. I can't even tell you. I really, really am so blown away that.
So the purpose of a persona is to train ChatGPT or any AI to write content that speaks to that person, right? Because so it's going to write all of this content to Lauren's problems, pains, goals, desired benefits, objections, context. So this is one example of how important it is to direct ChatGPT or any AI. And the more direction you give it, the better results you get. It's kind of like asking, your spouse, what do you want to do tonight? Versus, what do you want to eat tonight? Versus, what type of Mexican food do you want to eat tonight? Right? It's narrowing all of that down. And so a persona is a way to get really high impact content being written by an AI that really speaks to that person. So when they are reading your content or listening to your content, they feel like it was written to them. It has that connection to them, right? And that's much more effective than trying to be all things to all people. The more you can narrow down your focus and speak to certain people, the better results that you're going to have. Okay. Are those personas that you saved on the left side of ChatGPT? These are not personas. So these over on the left, this is just my history here. But these are custom GPTs. And so you can go into explore custom GPTs and let's say you want to write a joke post. You could start a chat with a custom GPT here. You could say, upload this persona, write a post to this persona about, what do I want to say to Lauren? What's one of her pains? Write a post persona about real estate deals falling through. Okay. So now even this custom GPT is going to take this persona and write this joke specifically to this topic. Perfectly good listings just sitting there a little too long, buyers back, rates bump up, cost climb, and boom, another deal falls through. Okay, now I could say, spice it up. Spice it up. Okay. When a hot listing goes cold and your commission ghosted you like a bad Tinder date. So I could take this and I could even repurpose this. You can keep chatting with it. And I could say, I could jump out of this and just post this into, and I could say, write me a persona. I can spell persona, and I'll upload that persona again just so that it has context for this one specifically. And you could do it, all different kinds of things, but it's just going to take this content that was kind of funny from another GPT, and now it's going to, take that, and now it's going to put a whole recruiting, post on here. Okay. All right, let's jump back in here. We got one more thing. This is the real estate agent example. So let me talk for a second before we jump into the last part, which is writing content. And I knew this was going to go long, just because there's so much to cover here. So it's in the Google Doc as well. And I will go ahead and share this in the chat, this Google Drive. That's the Google Drive. And I will also share this. If I can get my Zoom chat. There we go. Okay. So this is the larger guide that I wrote for this as well. All right. So this Google Drive that I put together for you. So let's start with lead generation. Okay. So I've got a ton of different PDFs in here that you can save and put into your own folder on your computer or your own Google Drive. You can connect Google Drive to ChatGPT and just upload directly. What I mean by that is you just click this plus sign. If you've connected Google Drive, you just click add from Google Drive. If this gives you an error, just go up to your browser, hit refresh, and then it'll show up again. It just timed out. So whatever your folder is called that you've saved these, you can go in here and you can upload these. You can't upload infinite number of PDFs, so don't go crazy there. Kind of the less, you don't want to overwhelm it, the less information, the better, as far as overloading it. But I've got articles from a Powur blog in here, our impact report. I've got door-to-door training. Let me just give you one example here for door-to-door training. I haven't ever done this before, by the way. But what I'm going to do right now. So lead generation. I titled these by D to D. So, whoops. Lead generation. I think I had 3 door-to-door documents in here. Lead generation. Door-to-door mastery. I think that's the one from Charles Thompson. So I just put these 3 PDFs in here and let's see if we can come up with something cool. Okay. Create a full training for me on knocking, door-to-door canvassing, in how appointment setters can set more appointments. I don't want to go too crazy there. I just want to give it create. There we go. So that's all I told it, right? So let's see what it comes up with just from these documents. So a full training on door-to-door. It's a masterclass for solar appointment schedules. It's got an ideal canvassing day blueprint. That's what the heck? Okay. It even has breakfast, gym, because door knockers gotta work out, disconnect and sleep. Oh, daily goal: 70 doors, 35 talks, 10 contracts, 5 booked appointments. Part 2, tools and tech. Look at that. Slicks, apps, leave behinds, attire, business casual with solar flare, Powur branded, works great in new markets. That was from Charles Thompson. Look at that, scripts that convert. Amber Rose's Catch Them Off Their Guard intro. This was because one of the PDFs that I uploaded was from our training we did a couple months ago on door knocking, and Amber was on there, and it's pulling all of this in here. Isn't that pretty cool though? When you feed it information, you just get so much better info. Okay. Let's keep going here. And any questions about that before we go on? We still got a bunch of people here. And that's fine if some of you need to hop off. I was planning on going longer just because there's so much here to talk about.
Hey, Tom, do you still want to be reminded about Craigslist?
Yes.
Or are we kind of out of time?
Well, let's do that. Let's do that to kind of kick off our content creation here. And actually, let me put this. Where do I want this? Live example. I'll put that in here so that way you have access to that. Well, it looks like a pretty interesting door knocking training that we just created in 30 seconds. Okay. So let's create a, Ron, tell me, how about we do a Craigslist ad for gig economy workers?
Yeah, and when you said that earlier, I went ahead and put something in. I don't know if you want to show people how someone with less experience than you, what it came up with for me. I'm happy to share it.
Go ahead and share.
Okay.
Oops.
So I was going for, disabled.
Hold on, I gotta get there.
Okay.
Host tools. Go for it now, buddy.
All right. So let's see. That's one. Okay. Can you all see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I put in, I'm getting ready to expand my business, and I will be running Craigslist ads for a Powur appointment setter. And I was actually asking for a prompt. I said, what's the best prompt? What's interesting is it kind of like moved right into creating the ad. So great move. Craigslist can be a goldmine for finding motivated people if the ad is clear, compelling, and specific. Here's a Craigslist optimized prompt for your Powur appointment setter gig, written to attract US-based stay-at-home parents, customer service pros, side hustlers, and remote workers. It mixes urgency, opportunity, and structure, and filters out the wrong fits. So here's the Craigslist ad title, remote setter, including emojis, 50 to 100 per appointment, plus bonuses, work from home. So I don't know if you want me to actually read all that, but I can just kind of show, if you want, it pulled in, pays, right?
There you go. Yeah.
So we have to obviously double check these things. We can't just copy and paste blindly, right? And then it also threw in knowing that I use Energize, and you don't have to use Energize or anything. It's just I do, right? So it threw in that they would receive, get a tool called Energize to share info with homeowners and track your progress.
Cool.
This is a premium gig. So there you go. So there's more great for, and it lists the different people, must be 18 years old, so on. Yeah. So this is, that's a pretty good amount of information from a short little prompt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Love it.
There you go.
Thanks, Ron. That's good. So I'm going to put I copied it from your screen. See that?
Yep.
I use a tool called Text Sniper that just lets me grab any text on a screen. So I'm just going to do the exact same thing, except I'm going to put in a persona that I created. It's so important to do that. So this is a gig worker persona that I created for Jessica Torres. Okay, so it's uploading that. And we're just going to tell it to go. Just to contrast that about and just see what it looks like when a persona is in there. So it's similar, right? Pro tips for Craigslist. So title ideas. So it's pulling from the persona that we created. It's saying post every 48 hours, optional add-ons. Would you like for me to create a second Craigslist version that feels more like a side hustle from home, or the gigs talent section? So I'm going to try, just for the heck of it, I'm going to try one more. Same persona, but I'm going to prompt it a little bit different. So Jessica Torres. Help me create a high engaging, high converting Craigslist ad that beats out companies like Sunrun, Freedom Forever, Momentum, and all the other solar companies that are posting on Craigslist trying to bring people onto their team. Give me something that blows all of them out of the water. Okay. Blows them out of the water. Okay. I could do deep research. I've used all of mine for the month, but you can go to, if you have deep research that you want to do, let me just mention this real quick because this is related. Deep research. So I could go to Gemini. Oh, shoot. I could do deep research on a different tool, is what I'm saying. So I'm just going to click deep research. It's going to work for a little bit. And deep research means it's scouring the web, looking for all of these different sources that are out there. It's not just using its language model. Okay, so it'll be ready in a few minutes. So start research. We'll come. It will come back to this one. Okay. But let's see what this does when I give it this kind of better direction that I want it to go. Okay. Now it's bolding the bullets. Tired of hustle with no payoff. You probably tried to get a dozen gigs that promised freedom. Let's throw in the freedom thing in there. Promised freedom, but ended up just being another grind. We're Powur, fastest growing. What's in it for you? No fees, no MLM, no weird DMs. Training provided. Work when your kids are asleep, during rideshare downtime, or between gigs. Oh, I mean, that's speaking to Jessica Torres in her persona. And again, you can adjust some of this stuff. It's not a fit. If you hate texting or talking to people or following simple scripts, want a traditional 9 to 5. Perfect if you are tired of dead-end gigs. So you can see what we got there, right? Look at all the websites. This deep research is it's actually reading the Freedom Forever website right now. Interesting. This deep research stuff is always like blows me away what it's doing. So it's searching 319 websites right now, in addition to its, this is Google Gemini. Okay, we'll come back to this one here. Okay, back to our training document. Ron, hopefully that was interesting. I'm going to share this one in the document as well so that people have it. Copy link. And there we go. Okay, so that is there. So writing content, the goal is to start conversations with prospects, and that can be potential customers, setters, salespeople. I showed you the Google Drive with training resources already. So that's split up into, I don't have anything in sales right now, work in progress. But recruiting, I showed you. I think I got a ton of different things in here for you to train based on what you're trying to do. Lead generation, 50 objection handling scripts is in there. There's some really good stuff buried in here. Business coaching. I've got the book Tools of Titans by Tim Ferriss, along with 4-Hour Workweek and 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. If you want to use that to train GPT, I've got compensation plan, the main knowledge base page, the PDF, Powur business plan is in there as well. Powur formula, that's for business coaching, so you can ask it to train you about Powur stuff. So let me show you. I just love this stuff so much. So one more thing. Let's go in here to business coaching, and let's just put in the compensation plan. And do I want anything else? No. Let's just give it the compensation plan, and let's ask it a question. Help me figure out how to make the most money in the next 9 months in my Powur business by team building. I want you to help me figure out from the Powur compensation plan what I need to do in building a team to make the most money. Okay. And all it's got is our compensation plan info. Look at that. Okay, so now it's just giving us the information. Come on, ChatGPT, anybody can do that. Let's actually give me, there we go, game plan, maximize team income by September 30th. Okay. Okay, so 143 installs a month across your team based on 175 average revenue share. So we could tell it different numbers here. If most of these were direct to you, then that would be a much higher number. So your team building blueprint reverse engineered. So it's telling me how to make 25,000 a month. I just told it I want to make a lot of money. If I actually told it a certain number, then it would reverse engineer to that certain number. So your org build goals for the next 9 months. Look at that. Direct sales pros, setters, level 1 setters, team-wide, roles that create rev share. Look at that. On partnered projects, the revenue share is split 50-50. So it read the fine print in that page on the comp plan. Daily and weekly targets to build this weekly. Tools to deploy this. Look, it knows about setter surge. Anyways, that was pretty cool. Pretty cool. I will share this one in the document also for everybody. Any other questions before we jump into some more content creation? Okay. Let me check out the chat here. Do you build GPTs for the business coach or only you could do either one. So you could build, how can you get the Energize app? Let's see how you can get the Energize app. How can I get the, let's see if ChatGPT knows this. Energize Africa. Okay. You can just go to,
I got a link and stuff for it, Tom.
you can put it in there for him. Thanks. I just don't have it handy right here. Okay, I'm just checking some of the chat there. Okay, let's jump back here. I want to show you this prompt thread. So this is creating content different. You've seen me create some of this content, but this is some kind of more fine-tuned ways to do it. So the first one here is a prompt thread where there's different prompts and you get it. Sometimes AIs, they don't get confused, but you just don't get great results if you give it too much information at once. So less information that's very directed in different steps can sometimes work better. So let me show you what I mean by this. And what I've been showing you with, let me close some of these. What I've been showing you with personas is important, but this is where it gets really interesting. Focus on, so this is the first thing. Act as a content strategist. What 4 weekly themes should I focus on for my just so it gets clear on that. So we're going to go back to Lauren that we created. And we're going to tell ChatGPT to act as a content specialist using themes specifically for Lauren. And it's going to come up with stuff. And then the next is to build a smart post mix. Number 2, we'll just copy this. So week 1, make your listings irresistible. Okay, so I don't like what it's doing here. I want, it thought that I'm wanting focus on for recruiting my real estate persona. If GPT ever uses the persona's name, you just edit it and tell it to not do that. So I stopped it and I went back and I edited this prompt. And so now it's gonna create posts and content for recruiting Lauren. So listings that close faster, that's a solar benefit. Passive income, Powur benefit. Clients add value without the work. So it's doing this stuff here. And I'm going to post my other prompt in here to just get ready for when it's done. Week 4, don't get left behind. Content ideas. So just ignore when it comes to the end there. And now we're going to give it this second prompt. So we put in our persona, gave it our first prompt, and now we're going to direct it a little bit differently to create the ideal mix of content type for value, reach, and conversion across 4 weeks. You see how it all starts with going in, customizing ChatGPT, creating personas, and maybe some other assets that you can use to train in certain cases. And then you really get some special results, right? That are different than just help me recruit real estate agents, right? Content type, how that breaks down weekly. So Monday, post ideas, 3 ways solar helps homes sell faster. Screenshot of a $1,200 referral check plus caption. She referred, we handled the rest. You can actually tell ChatGPT, create the screenshot of that check, and it'll generate a screenshot of a referral check for you if you don't have one. Instagram story, want the referral script that paid an agent $1,200, drop script. So we got some great content here. Optimization tips. Okay, now we're going to go back. We're only on prompt 2. We'll go to 3. Using these 4 themes give me a 32. What's her name? Yeah, Lauren. I'm just throwing that in. Don't use her name. So here's 30 daily content ideas tailored to your real estate recruiting persona. Look at this. Week 1. We've got 7 posts. Theme is solar as a strategic advantage. Week 2, the theme is referral income without a new job. It's got all these different kinds of posts, so you don't feel like you're posting the same thing all the time. Week 3, theme, you look good, we do the work. Carousel, meme. So you can even go back in and, each of these days you can say, I'll wait till we get to the end here, but you can say, copy this and say, help me create this post. And every day you can go back and have ChatGPT write you the post, image, a script for a reel. So this is just, kind of the tip of the iceberg. So now we're going to do a hook and a call to action for each of these. Okay. Hook and a call to action for each content idea that will drive scroll stopping engagement. And this is the last prompt on this. It's analyze. Anytime it says analyzing, it's doing special stuff. Don't name a persona. What's her name? Yes, Ron. It's thinking really hard. Any questions in the chat or on mic as ChatGPT is processing here?
Hey, Tom, is that deep research thing done yet? Just curious.
Yeah, let's go back and look at it. Holy cow. You can export it to docs. So look at this. Crafting a high engaging, high converting Craigslist ad for a solar company recruit. So this is, so it searched, 300 plus different websites. And these are all of the sources. So if I copy that and come back here to what we did previously, Ron, and go back to high converting Craigslist ad and say, use this research to improve this ad, and then just paste. So we took the output from Google Gemini, deep research, which is free, and put it back into ChatGPT. And now it's going to be like amazing, right? And so the link that I put in the document for this high converting Craigslist ad. So when you go to that link, you should see all of this new information. Oh, hiring in Spring Hill, Kansas. Oh, whoops. Okay. You can just tell ChatGPT, adjust the location to wherever you are, and it'll adjust it for that market. Okay. Who we are, what we do, what you'll earn, why you'll love this role. Let me know if you want a variant for installers, sales pro, or you can test A/B headlines. Anyways, all that is in there. Okay, so now we have a 30-day content plan with a content idea, a hook, that's the very beginning of the post, and a call to action is the end, okay? And now, so all of that is in here for 30 days. So optimize each idea for you could do optimize each idea for LinkedIn, for Facebook, for TikTok, for Instagram, but we're just going to do Facebook here. So it's going to analyze Facebook and craft each of those for that platform. Okay. Now, we keep going here if y'all want to. While it's thinking about that, there is another option here of one big prompt. Okay. And I'm actually not going to show you this one because it's just copy and paste it into GPT. You can try it on your own. But here is the prompt. The things that are in bold brackets are what you would adjust on your side. And I have an example here of a homeowner lead gen prompt for home solar in these states. The brand voice is professional, snarky, friendly, and the voice or the goal is to generate leads through the promotion of solar and storage solutions. Okay. I will show you just what that even looks like in a second here. Okay, so now we have ideal length of words. We have Facebook keywords to use in each of those and SEO tips. So create link. Okay, I'm going to put this in here. Live example. 30-day. There we go. Okay. Now, if we just go back, just to show you what this does. So there's lots of ways to get there, right? There's no like only one way to do it, but you can try different things, and you trying different things will help you learn the AI. Here's high leverage content plan with 24 unique solar themed post ideas broken into 6 from each key category: educational, entertainment, entertaining, user generated, promotion, trend based. That's good stuff. So it's just working on educational content to begin with. That's to build trust, position brand as a helpful expert. Entertaining, break up the scroll, entertain. If solar panels had a dating profile, your electric bill after going solar, behind the scenes, solar dad joke Sunday. If solar panels could talk, interesting. So it's working through that. I'll share that when it gets done. I had one more. I have a GPT, a custom GPT that I created for you. And I'll show you what that looks like. This is pretty cool. This is one of my more favorite things to do. And let's just go to Google News. So this is Power Warrior News Reporter. It's an AI news reporter that's focused on solar trends and power updates for content related to recruiting solar appointment setters. Okay, so that's the purpose of this custom GPT, and you can use this with a free account. You can't create custom GPTs unless you have a paid account. Okay. Now, just before I get too far, promotional posts, trend-based post. I'll just share this live example in the training document. There we go. Okay. So for those of you that are on this call, I don't want to do something political, but technology, energy. Let's look at energy. Let's look at this. Okay, so I'm just gonna capture this text right here, this headline. Sorry, just trying to capture this without getting extra stuff. Okay, so here's the flow for this. The first thing you want to do is find a news article. It can be on Google News like I just did. It can be in Google alerts that you set up. Like I've got Google alerts set up for solar, rate hike. So if I wanted to do, actually I like this one better. I like this one better. So all I'm going to do is take this. Oh, shoot. What did you do? I'm going to take this headline and we're going to go over to Perplexity. And this is another AI tool. It's free. And all I'm going to do is post the headline to that article in Perplexity. and it's going to do more than ChatGPT would do. What we're doing here is we're doing research like a reporter would research. It's 17 different sources is what this is looking at. And you can see all of these different sources. It's looking at PV Magazine, Yahoo, Energy Sage, Canary Media, Climate Central, Instagram, government website, LinkedIn, Reddit, and more as well, right? It's got all different kinds of sources in there, 17 of them. Now, look at that, it's doing this. So it's actually doing all of this research just based on that headline. And what we're going to do now is go down to the bottom, and we're going to copy this from Perplexity. And we're going to go to our Power Warrior News Reporter, which is linked in your document right here under option C. And we're just going to paste that, or paste the whole thing right from Perplexity. Okay. And this is a GPT that is trained in reporting on solar trends and power updates for content related to recruiting appointment setters for power for you. Okay, we're going to click go. Look at that. It's got all 17 sources in there that it's going to give to this custom GPT. Okay. And I've got this program to do this thing called too long didn't read, TLDR, at the very beginning. You can, when you post this, you can take that out if you don't want it. It's just for ADHD people. So we could take this, we could go over to Facebook, we could post this, and let's just take this off for the heck of it. And it didn't give me any images this time, but I'm going to go in here and just search that. Whoops, not Google Maps. I've got Zoom hiding my browser here. I'm just going to paste that in Google, go to images, and we'll grab this one as the first one. And we'll just paste. And I want to do 2 this time. This is the actual article from Canary Media, or the image from Canary Media. So we got these 2, and not even read it, and post. So that's how you can position yourself as an expert in things having to do with solar, right? This could be an article about SolarEdge, right? You know, we could look at news about SolarEdge. You can, you know, on a weekly basis, you could just post about, you know, all of our different partners, and you want to choose the right one. Stock is down. So you could just choose you know, any of these titles, go to Perplexity, new thread, and it'll do the research for you. It'll pull all of that in, and you just copy this. You go to Power News Reporter and paste it, and it writes the article for you. So what I've done on the backside of this is I have trained this in its goal, its persona, and its tone as a reporter, formatting guidelines, you know, all this stuff. And I have a whole knowledge base, not Power knowledge base, but another knowledge document that I use to train this reporter. Okay. And just to show you again how easy this is, it's doing all of this resource. It's at 35 different sources that it's looking at. We got the conclusion. Go back over here, paste. Let's see if it puts a positive spin on this. But here's the takeaway for anyone watching the solar game. When the smoke clears, companies that stayed lean and kept selling will grab more market share. And in the US residential space, that means one thing. Opportunity is shifting. Installers need appointment flow that converts, not just tech. Pay attention. Downtime creates gaps. Gaps create leverage. Now, make this a post to recruit solar pros. And I'm going to upload a Solar Pro persona that I have. And the Solar Pro is Erica Chen, who used to work for Tesla. She's not a real person, but that's part of her persona, right? So now it took this article, this news article, and I'm still in the same GPT, but I gave it direction and gave it this persona. Here's the shift no one's talking about. Closers with nationwide reach reach full potential, controlling stuff the gaps. Setters are scrambling to partner with pros who can actually close coast to coast. And leaders, they're quietly building teams, not by managing, but by mentoring. If you're a pro like me who's burned out on Zoom grind with no override, losing deals in non-covered states, watching rookies out-earn you on flexible platforms, tired of begging for pricing visibility or proposed changes, you don't need to start your own EPC. You just need the right platform. Look at that. We took a negative story about a SolarEdge loss and turned it into a really cool recruiting post for solar pros. That's pretty slick. I like that. Okay, so here's the steps that we just did. The news headline, paste the headline into Perplexity, paste into Powur News Reporter Custom GPT. And I've got some other resources down here for you also. Resources from Tom. So this top one is that Google Drive link. Some other things in here, the Google Deep Research is what I showed you. There's another one called Storm by Stanford that also does deep research, and it's free. If you want help creating prompts, this is a good custom GPT. Google Studio does video transcription, so you can download a YouTube video, download a Powur video, and you can have it transcribe it for you. Although, if you use that GLASP tool, if it's on YouTube, you don't need to download it. You can just, if you use Chrome, just open the YouTube video and just copy that and then paste it into ChatGPT or the AI of your choice. Galaxy, you can look at that. You can get a pro ChatGPT account for, it comes out to $15 a month if you're paying for it for a full year. Plus you get access to a whole bunch of other tools as well. You can, if you want to create your own industry news reporter, you can use this custom GPT to do that. It's called Atom. You can create a news reporter for the gig economy. You can literally create a reporter for each of your persona categories. So you could have a real estate reporter, a gig economy reporter, a roofing reporter, and you can have an avatar that goes along with that. let me show you what I mean. So Lucia Santiago is my news reporter. She is a 30-year-old Hispanic remote worker. And what I showed you with the news headline, perplexity, and the reporter GPT, that's exactly how I created this post. And she has a sign off on hers where she says, "This is Lucia Santiago, your AI amiga in the solar side hustle game." So that's what she looks like. And I just posted. So when I have her report, I actually go in to Midjourney and create. So this was the prompt that I used to get these results. So Pixar-inspired stylization of Lucia Santiago as a news reporter holding a reporter mic in San Diego, reporting on a 5.2 earthquake, scared-faced, wavy hair blowing in the wind, cinematic lighting. You can see that. So if you want to, these are just different stories that I've done. This was her recording or reporting in Texas oil rig. And she was reporting for a DoorDash gig economy story here. So I tell her, this one, she's in Las Vegas reporting on Nevada energy electric rate increase. So you can see, Las Vegas in the background here. So if you want to create an avatar, you can use this reporter avatar generation GPT. Okay, it's called Felix, and you just click start, and it's going to ask you information here, and you just you answer the questions, and then you go into a program like Midjourney, and you click create, and you just paste that prompt, and it'll generate 4 images for you. And then you can adjust that prompt. You can go in and you can vary it, very subtle, very strong. So let's say I liked, which one did I use this one because of her scared face. If I wanted to vary that just a little bit, I would just click very subtle, and it's going to generate 4 new images that are similar, but a little bit, each one of them is a little bit different. If I wanted to very strong, I could do that as well. And it's still going to take that same prompt. It's just going to generate 4 different images that are usually very different along the same theme though. Okay. Checking out the chat here. So we are about done, but you can use, let me show you one more thing from Midjourney. I think this is pretty cool. So let's say that I liked, which one of these? I don't like this one because she's got 2 mics. Let's say I like, this one, okay? Copy image. I can go into Canva and if I know that I want a certain dimension for Facebook. Like I don't want, how Facebook sometimes shows those borders if it's not wide enough? Well, I can go in here and I can just paste this into Canva, and then I can do things like I can do background remover, and I could put Lucia in front of Powur's main headquarters. Like if you've got a picture of the Powur boardroom, or Powur Studio, or whatever is the location of the story or company of the story that you're talking about. You could, put that in the background here of Canva. Or what's interesting also is you can go to edit and go to Magic Studio and do Magic Expand and do whole page. So look at the image, and we're going to be done here in 30 seconds. And what that is doing, whoops, I canceled out of it. It was thinking. It's going to expand this out into, so we use one AI to create it, Midjourney. We're going to use another AI. Look at that. So now we have a wider image that we could, download and post on Instagram or whatever space we wanted. And it's not going to have those, limitations there. It's going to be the right size. All right, let me share this once more in the chat for anybody that came in late here. Oh, right. Let me see if I can put that in there for you. Background remover. And layer. Send to back. There we go. Now let's use Magic Expand on the Powur Office. Whole page, expand. Haven't ever tried it like this before with two images in here. Look at that. Now we got a, oops. Come on, Lucia. Trying to line her up the right spot here. Kind of like that, right? With her. Look at that. Now we got Lucia in the boardroom looking scared. Okay. I feel like you guys were just watching me do stuff for a while there. Hopefully that was interesting. Hopefully that was helpful. Any questions before we jump off here?
Thanks, Tom. That was awesome.
You are welcome. All right, everybody.
Hey, Tom.
Thanks. Hey, and thanks, I will post this in the school group, and we'll post it on Bernasso's YouTube channel as well. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Tom. That was awesome.